All right, next racing fans, I appreciate everybody that's been following the channel, subscribed, everybody that's been following the build. I know it's been a while since I posted the last video. A lot going on, personal stuff, so we're back at it, we're back to it. I want to go ahead and show you guys exactly what's going on with the build, and I hope you guys like what you see. We've got pretty far so far, so let's go ahead and get this turned around so you guys can see. All right, so as you guys can see, we've got a lot of the bars in so far. You go ahead and turn this way so you guys can see this way. We've got the main hoop in. We've got the halo in. We've got the window bars in. We've got the dash bar in. We've got some of the 750 bars, rocker bars down here. Those aren't fully welded in, but they're somewhat in there. We got the door bars, which I still have to make the other side, but so far, as you guys can see, it is looking good. So let me back up a little bit so you guys can see. This is the first door bar here, second door bar over there. I've got most of the bars welded in somewhat. I would say probably like 50 to 60%, and the only reason I did that is because I don't want any of the bars to move when I'm finished welding them, because I know metal tends to move a lot when you weld it. When it gets hot, it'll move, and I don't want it to move that much. So I have a lot of the bars welded about like 50 to 60% because I like exactly where those bars land. So like for instance, this bar here, that bar there. The main hoop's tacked in, a couple tacks here, a couple tacks there. Same thing on that side, a couple tacks. The front bars here tacked a couple, and here are tacked a couple, and that's because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, and when I get most of these bars in, so the X bar, I'm gonna get this welded in halfway, get this welded in halfway. When I get started with the back bar right here, that's gonna be the next bar to go in, and then we're gonna start the funny car cage. And then once we get the funny car cage somewhat in there, we'll go ahead and put that diagonal bar in. And then what I can do is since this main hoop is on top of this bar here, we've got about 4 to 5 inches drop here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break these tack welds here, and I'm going to lift up the cage, drop it down back here. Same thing over there, drop it down to the back. This one here is going to drop forward. This bar here will come out. Once I drop that bar back, and I will untack this, and then this one here is also just tacked in. This bar here, I will cut the tack welds over there. Same thing on the other side, cut the tack welds, remove this bar, move it out of the way, put this forward, it'll drop down. That'll give me enough room up here to weld on the top side of that, weld on the top side of that, and then on top of the funny car cage and the X brace that goes up here, and then any type of gussets that I put in the car as well. So that gives me enough room to drop the cage down, weld on top, so all the welds on the car have a 360-degree weld around it. So like I said, we'll go ahead and get finished. We'll tack weld this one in probably about 20%. I'll probably just do a top weld here, top weld over there, same thing on that side. Get this back brace in, and then we'll start the funny car cage. As you guys can see over here, I got a little bit of a mess, but I've got the funny car cage tube bent already. I've got the SFI book here that I've been going off of. Let me see, SFI book here. Let's see if I can get this to, there you go, the SFI book here I've been going off of. I've got this little nifty tool here. I don't know if you guys ever seen this tool, but this has been a lifesaver. So what I did is it has a laser on the end there. And when that laser is on, I can put it on the tube, let's just say right here, and it'll let me know the shape. It'll let me know the shape of the tube that I did, and it'll let me know where exactly the other side of the bar is going to end. So when I put this here, I'll give you an example. When I put this here, it'll let me know where on this bar the tube's going to end up if I cut it and notch it like that. So this has been a nifty tool that I've been using so far. Really great, definitely worth it. Wasn't that expensive at all. Let me show you guys over here. A little bit of a mess, but I've got my tubing notcher over here. I've got the fan going. Hopefully the fan's not making too much noise. But I got the tubing notcher going over here. And I just been notching away. You see all the notching pieces, all the powder from the notching, everything. We've been notching away. Just literally did these 2 bars, and as you guys can see, I'm doing this in a 1-car garage. There's not a lot of space here. Basically all I have is this space here, and that's about it. On the other side over there is the wall. Basically I don't have no room over there, so I'm doing this in a 1-car garage. So what I'll do is on that side I'll weld as much as I can, this side weld as much as I can. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rear end back in it, put the axles back in it, put the tires back in it, and then I'll go ahead and roll it forward out of the garage, flip it the other way, bring it back in, and so that I can weld the other side of those bars over there where I'm not going to be able to reach because of the door that's over there. But so far, this is what we got, guys. We've been working hard. And then after we get all that stuff in, I guess the last thing will be the center console, or not center console, the steering column, which will weld the steering column in. And then the dash that I have up here will definitely be going back in. I want it to have the stock look as appearing as possible. Stock dash will go back in. The center console area will go back in. I have to get some wheel tubs on order, put the wheel tubs in, cover this up, put some kind of steel here to kind of make it look all nice and whatnot. But more than likely what I'll do is I'll probably come down, stop around like here or so, and then put one across this way and put it that way so it kind of covers it as well. That way what I want to do is I don't want to have too much stuff up here. So my plan was to have a bar that comes from here to here, and then on that bar I was going to attach the CO2 tank. So the CO2 tank's out of the way. That'll run the, I believe, the wastegates. And then anything else. And then what I was thinking about doing is once I put the back bar in here, I was thinking about putting maybe like a plate behind it right here and having maybe some electronics back here. And then I was going to do another one up here as well. So from here, I was going to do like a plate from here to here. I was going to do a plate and then put the electronics on there as well. So it's going to have obviously a lot of electronics. So because the headlights are going to work, tail lights are going to work, turn signal, wipers, the door, windows, the power windows are going to work. So most of the stuff on there is going to work. So I have a lot of electronics. I have a lot of fuses and stuff, and I want to kind of get that out of the front area, the engine bay area, and bring it in the car, so that way the engine bay area look a little bit cleaner without a whole bunch of wires over there. But this is how far we've gotten so far, guys. I appreciate everybody that's been following and subscribed. Like I said, hit that subscribe button because we get in there, baby. We get in there. A couple more bars, like I said, another X bar, back brace, funny car cage, and that's about it. And then we can take it to get certed and finish up the back over here, get the wheel tubs in. Then I'm gonna, once everything is nice and how I like it, we'll get this housing sent off to get powder coated. We'll get the wheelie bars sent off to get powder coated, the 4-link bars to get powder coated. I'll start painting all this because we'll have some bars that are attached from up here. I have some bars attached up here to go over here. We'll have one bar from right about here going all the way probably as far as back as I can, and then we'll have another bar right probably next to it in an X shape. It'll go from here over to right about there, and then same thing, we'll have a bar about there and it'll come right about over here in an X shape. And then I was thinking, like I said, I was thinking about putting, just for stiffness and the body, I was thinking about putting another bar from here to over here, same thing from right about there to over there, just so it kind of stiffens it up a little bit, because we'll have bars high up but we won't have anything low down attached. So that'll be low down attached, so it kind of gives it a little bit more stiffness as well. And then once the car is done, we do have to cover these hoses up. So what we'll do is, once I get everything all situated, well, I'll put another bar right about here. Another bar is going to go right about here, which it's about, what is it, 47 and a quarter inches or something like that. Yeah, 47 and a quarter inches, the bar length. We'll put another bar there. Once everything's tacked in and welded, like I said, I'll drop it down, weld everything, bring it back up, weld it completely. What I'll do is I'll put some steel over that, and then I'll put either some silicone and some I forget what it's called, but we'll put some silicone around it, and we'll drill it, and we'll put some I can't think of the word right now, but anyway, you guys know, we'll drill it and put some holes and some screws in it so it'll stay in place, so it's not going anywhere, and it'll meet the spec for the SFI in regards to the thickness. So same thing over here, we'll cover it up. And then that bar down there is actually going to get cut. So this bar down here will get cut. So it's going to eventually, once I put the bar here to here, from here to here, then we're eventually going to cut it over here, and we're going to do a 3-piece design. So we'll do one piece, we'll have a 3-bolt adapter here, another one on the other side, and that way we can take this center bar out and remove the transmission without having to remove the whole motor and transmission forward. So, but that'll be like the last thing, because we can go underneath the car, cut it, put the 3-bolt plate on it, weld it, put it back up on there, make sure the power glide fits under there, and we're all good to go. And then we'll worry about, once all this is done back here, we'll worry about the motor mounts for the front for the motor, and we'll worry about everything else. So, and then once the car is 80% done, the motor fits, transmission fits, cage is done, back is done, housing's powder coated, everything is neat, nice, and how I like it. I know where most of the plumbing is going to go for the brake lines, all that stuff. Then we'll go ahead and take it and get it painted a certain color. I've got a color in mind. Won't say what it is, but we'll get it painted. So appreciate everybody that stuck to the video. If you guys like the build, leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate it. Helped me out a lot. So we can get kind of get going on this build. So remember, stay tuned. We're next racing.